Hello, my name is Shrikanta, and today I will be presenting our work jointly learning to align and transcribe using attention based alignment and uncertainty to weigh losses. This work was conducted at the International Institute of Information Technology, Bangalore. This is the outline of our presentation. The motivation for this work is end to end automatic speech recognition models have shown promising results in recent years. Within these end-to-end ASR models, a subclass of models trained using a multitask framework, namely the joint CTC and attention framework, has shown significant improvement in results. In these architectures which use attention, misalignment of attention with the ground truth is never penalized. Here, our focus is only on optimizing the CTC and attention cost functions. There has been a considerable amount of comments to the attention mechanism in the recent years that the attention weights tend to be peaky and concentrate only on a subset of frames. For example, if we see the figure here, the blue dots represent the alignment from a GMM-HMM model. If we take a pre-trained GMM-HMM model and do a force alignment with the ground truth phone sequence, we get a start frame and an end frame. So this is where the phoneme boundary starts and this is where the phone boundary ends. In this work, we recognize that this is a potential area of improvement in the end-to-end ASR models, and we focus on minimizing the alignment error along with the CTC and attention losses. When we introduce this extra loss function, it also becomes difficult to decide on the appropriate scaling of all the three loss functions. For this, we implement a dynamic weighting scheme for all the three loss functions, that is CTC, attention, and alignment loss. Through this exercise, we show that we can achieve a better performance and also faster convergence when compared to a baseline model which is trained without the alignment loss function. This work was motivated by the work The Consciousness Prior by Yoshio Bengio in his archive paper. Here, the author brings in the concept of what they term as abstract priors, which are top-level abstract representations. This is based on a regularization term which encourages top-level representations to be such that when attention is given to a subset of representations, the model can use these representations to make a decision. In our work, this abstract prior is the ground truth segmentation, which is where the model should attend to predict a particular phoneme. Each phone has a candidate range of start and end frame in the input feature vector sequence as given by the GMM-HMM alignment. And we would like our encoder-decoder model to give attention to these frames. There has been some work in utilizing the alignments from an external model in an attention-based network. In text-to-speech, Zhu and others have used a pre-alignment guided attention mechanism. In machine translation, Garg and others have used a traditional IBM model of alignment as the ground truth in training an attention model for learning translation and alignment in the same model. In automatic speech recognition, in the original attention-based models for speech recognition work by Chorosky and others, the misalignment of attention with the ground truth is measured but not penalized. When we introduce multiple loss functions, we typically take a weighted sum of these losses. And the weights of these losses are either uniform or hand-tuned. Kendall and others introduced this concept of uncertainty to weigh losses for a multitask network in computer vision for scene geometry and semantics. In their work, they propose a principled way of combining multiple loss functions. They show that task uncertainty is an effective way to weigh the losses. We make use of this concept in our implementations to learn the weights of the three loss functions, that is, CTC, attention, and alignment losses. In the multitask setting for the end-to-end automatic speech recognition system with CTC and attention, there is a recurrent neural network encoder which takes as input a sequence of feature vectors and maps them into a sequence of hidden representations. These hidden representations are fed to a CTC decoder and also an attention decoder. Here, CTC and attention being two tasks in the multitask setting. The overall loss function is defined as the convex combination of this CTC loss and attention loss. Here, lambda defines the importance given to each task. In this multitask architecture, the encoder is a recurrent neural network with a hidden state H, and the decoder is another recurrent neural network with the hidden state Z. In this system, the model learns which part of the input sequence to attend to for every output token. This behavior is termed as attention. Attention is defined as a function between the hidden representations of the decoder and each of the hidden representations of the encoder. As you can see, attention is always a byproduct of the architecture. We do not directly optimize for learning good attention. In our proposed work, we identify that there is room for improvement in this particular section of the encoder-decoder network and would like to learn better attention. Thus, we modify the multitask learning framework with CTC and attention to include an extra term, L-align. Here, L-align defines the loss between the encoder-decoder model's attention and the alignment from a previously trained GMM-HMM model. Here, alpha is the attention given by the end-to-end model for predicting a particular phone, and alpha star is the alignment from a GMM-HMM model. In order to get the ground truth alignments for an utterance, we first train the GMM-HMM model for predicting the monophone sequences of the utterance. Given this pre-trained acoustic model, the speech utterance, the transcript and the lexicon, we can do a forced alignment of the acoustic data with the monophones to get the phone boundaries. We represent this alignment as follows, shown in the figure. Here, we term alpha k as the start frame of the particular phone, and alpha c as the center frame, alpha l as the end frame of the phone. The modified multitask architecture looks as follows. In addition to the CTC task and the attention task, now we have also introduced an alignment task. This alignment task is defined between the attention weights of the encoder-decoder and the alignment from a GMM-HMM model. Now, the model optimizes for all three loss functions. As we mentioned in the previous section, one of the complaints of the encoder-decoder architecture is that attention tends to be peaky. In order to learn the correct alignments or attention, we ask the question, what is the correct alignment for phonemes? Here, we introduce three types of alignments. The square alignment gives equal importance to all the frames within the window of the phone, thus it is uniform. The Gaussian alignment is defined as a Gaussian function centered around the center frame of the phone window. The impulse, this gives importance to only the center frame of the window and ignores all the other frames. Another question we ask is, what is the best loss function to measure this misalignment between the encoder-decoder attention and the alignment from the GMM-HMM model? Towards this, we study the following loss functions. If we consider both alpha and alpha star as distributions, we can use the KL divergence and the optimal transport distance to measure the loss between them. For the optimal transport distance, we use an approximate solution as given by Fady and others. If we consider both alpha and alpha star as vectors, we can also use the cosine similarity to measure the loss between them. Here, the length of the vectors would be the number of frames in the input sequence. As mentioned earlier, When we have three loss functions to optimize, it becomes computationally intensive to hand tune the scaling of each task. Hence, we rewrite the loss functions as follows. Here, sigma 1, 2, and 3 define the importance given to each task. Larger the sigma, lower the importance given to a particular task. The last three terms regularize the equation, preventing large values for any given sigma. We study the performance of the model on two datasets, the first one being TIMIT. We choose TIMIT because of its small size, which allows us to study how the different loss functions, the loss scaling, and alignment types affect the performance of the model. For this study, we choose these set of parameters to vary. We choose 80-dimensional log MEL filter bank features along with the 3-dimensional pitch features to train the models. These features are derived at a window of every 25 milliseconds with a shift of 10 milliseconds. For the encoder in the encoder-decoder network, we use a bidirectional LSTM with projection of 3 layers. Here, we use 320 units for both hidden representations and projections. We use the location-aware attention for the attention mechanism. Also, we use a single-layer LSTM decoder with 320 units. For regularizing the network, we use a scheduled sampling with a probability of 0.1 and a dropout rate of 0.1 for the encoder. With these parameters, we would like to see how different alignment types and alignment loss functions affect the performance of the model. Here, we consider three types of alignment and three alignment loss functions mentioned in the previous section. If we look at the performance of the model when we use the KR divergence as the loss function, we can see that the square alignment type gives better performance compared to other alignment types. The result is similar when we use the optimal transport distance as the loss function. We achieve the best result when we use cosine similarity as the loss function. Thus, from this study, we choose to implement the cosine similarity as the loss function on the larger LibriSpeech dataset. Before discussing the numbers on LibriSpeech, we would like to show the attention profile on an example LibriSpeech utterance. This is the attention given by the encoder-decoder model, which is trained without the proposed alignment loss. Here, the x-axis represents the encoder index or the input index, and the y-axis represents the decoder index or the output index. When we compare this to the ground truth alignment as given by a GMM-HMM model, we see that the attention is peaky or concentrating on a few frames as recognized by many others in literature. Now, we compare this to the attention given by the encoder-decoder network, which is trained with the extra alignment loss that we have proposed in this paper. Here, we can see that this attention is more distributed and closer to the alignment as given by the GMM-HMM model. If we zoom in, look at a part of the example utterance, we can compare the attention given by the models after one epoch of training. In these figures, the dotted lines are the alignments given by the GMM-HMM model, and the solid lines are the attention as given by the encoder-decoder network. Ideally, we would like the attention given by the network to look like the alignments from the GMM-HMM model. The above figure shows the attention weights given by the encoder-decoder network trained without the proposed alignment loss after training the model for one epoch. Here, we can see that the attention weights have not converged yet. If we compare this to the attention weights from the model which is trained with the proposed alignment laws, we can see that the attention weights already start to converge better with the GMM-HMM model. In fact, we notice that the proposed model learns this behavior within a few thousand iterations of training, which is within the first epoch itself. We can see a similar trend when we see the attention of the model after training it for 14 epochs. Here, we see that the model which is trained with the proposed alignment laws has learned to give better attention when compared to the GMM-HMM alignment. This figure shows the convergence of accuracy and loss for a model trained with and without the proposed alignment laws on the development set. Here, the solid lines in red color is the plot for the model which is trained with the alignment laws, and the dashed line with the blue color is the model without the alignment laws. We make the following observations. The accuracy reaches the maximum value faster, and also this convergence is smoother for the model which is trained with the alignment laws when we compare this to the model which is trained without the alignment laws. This table shows the comparison in performance between a model which is trained with and without the alignment laws on the LibriSpeech 100-hour dataset. Here, we train the model to recognize monophones on the train clean 100 dataset and measure the performance on test clean dataset. As we can see, when we use the cosine similarity as the loss function and also use the automatic loss scaling as learned through the sigma values, we outperform the baseline model. Also, we would like to highlight that this superior performance is achieved at a much earlier epoch when compared to a model which is trained without the alignment laws. The model which is trained with the alignment laws hit early stopping at epoch 14. In our work, we focused on reducing the misalignment between the attention given by an encoder-decoder network and an alignment given by the GMM-HMM model. We show that by introducing this extra alignment loss function, we can achieve better performance when compared to a baseline model. We also introduced the automatic method of learning the weights in the multitask setting. We showed that this auto scaling performs better than the handcrafted scaling. In our experiments, we found that this proposed method results in the model learning monotonic attention within the first epoch of the training itself. For implementing the end-to-end models in the paper, we have used the ESPNet toolkit, and for generating the GMM-HMM alignments, we have used the Kaldi toolkit. We thank the authors and the open source community behind these toolkits. This work was supported by the Machine Intelligence and Robotics Center at the International Institute of Information Technology, Bangalore. We thank the Minro Center for all their support for this work. Thank you for watching our presentation. If you have any questions, please leave them in the Q&A section and we will be happy to answer them.